Welcome our viewers to another edition where we shall be discussing components of a tourism product. And after components of a tourism product, we shall be discussing characteristics of a tourism product. And I want to go directly to the components of a tourism product. We have talked about the definition of a tourism product. We had an expert who elaborated much more about tourism products. But now I want to discuss majorly the components that make up a tourism product. Now, the components of a tourism product, if you look at them majorly, a tourism product is divided into 5 components. The 5 components that make up a tourism product, one are tourism attractions, we have accessibility, or we have transport, we have accommodation, then we have image, and then we have price, as they are listed on the flip chart. But I'll explain each by giving examples. 1, tourism attractions. We discussed previously with an expert that attractions are of 3 major types. We have what we call natural attractions or God-made. We have what we call artificial. You can call them artificial or man-made or built attractions. And we have social cultural attractions, where we are looking at heritage, culture, and history. And these attractions serve as the most pulling factor to why a tourist or any other individual would leave his or her home of residence or country to come and visit a tourism destination. So they are the major pulling factors. Why is this person making a movement from where he stays, from where he lives, to come to a destination? These are attractions. And these are very common in East Africa. And the major attractions of East Africa, we saw them. But we have lakes, or we have rivers, we have mountains, we have national parks, we have forest reserves. All these are attractions. And these attractions, in a way, they serve also as habitats, because they have or they keep some of the attractions that people come and see. Like most national parks have wildlife. We are talking about animals, and domesticated animals, and bird species of different kinds. So number 1 component is attractions. Number 2, we are talking about accessibility, where we shall discuss transport becoming a key. We are looking at the movement now. Because if we are saying tourism is the movement, you are moving from one place, home of residence, to a destination, and you must make a return, you go back to home of residence. Therefore, transport serves an important role. All modes of transport, is it air, is it water, is it road, is it railway? And then the means of transport come in. It is a mode, but which means are you going to use? It is road or it is air. So which means of a vehicle are you going to use? So this is very key, because you might have the best attractions, a variety, but when transport is not well developed now, accessibility now to move to these attractions becomes a problem. That's why we advise or encourage destinations that since you have attractions, put in means how are people going to move so that they can enjoy these different attractions. So transport becomes a key. And also have accommodation and other support services that you might put. Accommodation we are talking about here, hotels. An element of bed and breakfast comes in now. We are aware that a tourist has come, attractions are there, transport is there. But where is he or she going to sleep? Of course, you will not sleep in these attractions unless there are different accommodation establishments within here. So when he moves now, he needs a bed, he needs breakfast, he needs restaurants for food and beverages. So this component also will come in to serve that purpose. You have moved, you have gone to a destination, you have experienced or seen different attractions, but at the end of it, you need to come and rest. You need a room, you need a bed, you need breakfast, you need what to eat, you need what to drink. So accommodation of all different types come in. Is it a hotel? Is it a hostel? Is it an apartment? They are all going to come in. And therefore, this is key. Destination should also have accommodation. Because if you are not an excursionist, a one-day tourist, then you need where to sleep, you need what to eat. So this one comes in and it plays a very important role. Number 4, we have image. Image, different authors perceive image in a different way. But I want to put it to my audience that image is that picture, that vivid picture, or the position of the mind about a destination. As Dr. Emmy, what do I think about a destination? And this one also comes and covers this image. You might have an image about accommodation, for example, facilities. Which image do you have about transport? Which image do you have about attractions? Image in terms of security. Safety will come in. How safe is that destination? It's not only about moving to see attractions, but safety also matters. You want to move in peace and come back in peace, not in pieces. Therefore, image will counter. Is the destination safe? Is it free from pandemics or epidemics? How are the people, the culture also matter? How is the governance now? It also comes in. So image is wide. And the tourist will first analyze before he chooses or makes a choice. Which destination am I buying in terms of image? Safety and security being key. That one is very key. So destinations must aim at building a positive image. And this explains as to why most destinations in Africa and East Africa in particular have spent too much money in marketing. Because they want now to build a positive image. I'll give an example of countries like Uganda. Some people, probably, if you read, I had a tourist that we were talking on the phone, who still thinks that Idi Amin is still the president of Uganda, which might not be that. Now currently, Amin went. But because maybe of the circumstances, the scenarios that were there, people might not buy Uganda as a destination, for example. They think, how will I go there when Idi Amin is still a president? So, especially the dark destinations, people have a negative perception about these dark destinations. So they think the evils that happen there, they are still there. Or they might conclude that everyone is bad within that destination. That's why countries should come up and do much of marketing. And I want to thank most of East African countries, they are doing this now. They want to create that positive, that good image in the eyes of the tourists to sell their destination. So this one is very key. Number 5, which is the last, is price. I always tell my students that tourism products and services are not for free. If you want to consume them, there's an amount of money that you must pay. You want to do gorilla tracking, it is expensive. In Congo, $300 US, in Uganda, probably $600, and they keep fluctuating. You need money to spend on transport. How are you going to move? That's the money. You need money for accommodation, where you are going to sleep. You need money to spend on food and beverages. You need money for entries to destinations and buy different tourism products and any other services that you need. So tourism products and services are not for free. So price comes in. For you to consume them, there's an amount of money, and they are being sold. That's why destinations are fighting now to market their tourism products and services. And tourism is the #1 export of most of the East African countries nowadays, after replacing tea and coffee. And therefore, an element of price comes in, money comes in. It is very key on the side of a tourist and the side of the destination. Money for conservation, money for human capital, labor, how much are you spending? Money to develop infrastructures. So all this comes in. So basically, for my audience, a tourism product is made up of 5 components: attractions, transport, accommodation, image, and price. After looking at these components, let's look at the characteristics of a tourism product. And if I'm discussing characteristics or features, then we should also note these are the major characteristics or features or qualities of a tourism product. And these characteristics we should appreciate. They demarcate or distinguish a tourism product from other products sold by other industries, like manufacturing. This is the uniqueness. Number 1, absence of ownership. One feature is absence of ownership. You don't own them. You cannot own a gorilla, for example. You cannot own the big 5. You cannot own these lakes or rivers. You go there, you enjoy them, you experience. It is a mountain, you are going to hike this mountain, but you cannot say, I've paid my money, give me this mountain. No, you cannot. A transport service, you have a ticket. You fly or you move, but you not at the end of it, give me that vehicle, give me that plane. So there's absence of ownership. We only enjoy them. We do activities on them, but we must leave them there for sustainability and conservation purposes. So we do not buy. What remains in your mind is the memory that at one time I visited this particular tourism destination. Number two, seasonality. Unlike other products and services sold by other industries, tourism products have an element of seasonality. We have two seasons, for example, to make it more clear. A high season and a low season. A high, which is a peak season. So in a peak season, probably demand is more high. And therefore, you're having too much inflow of tourists from most countries coming now to consume tourism products. They consume them. So an element of necessity is not there because we have other necessity goods which you must consume, whether demand is high, whether prices are high. But these ones depend on seasons. A peak season, more tourists will come and buy it. A low season, few numbers are coming in, and therefore even prices are favorable. Then another one is perishability now. We are saying tourism products and services, they perish. They must be sold to a maximum. We are giving a lot of examples. For example, perishability. Look at maybe hotel rooms. You're having a hotel which has 60 rooms. Today is 18th August 2023. What happens if you sell 10 rooms? The 50 rooms are perishable. You cannot keep them again on 18th August 2023 to sell them. Tomorrow you might sell 60 all of them, but 18th will never come back. You would have made a loss. So they should be sold to the maximum. Another good example is Volcanoes National Park. The gorilla permits. How many gorilla permits is the park supposed to sell? So the moment you go less of your limit, then the rest is perishable. Even in transport, Rwanda Air is flying to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. You are supposed to fly with 200 passengers. You fly with 100. So the 100 seats are perishable because days and time do not repeat themselves. We have also an element of heterogeneity. They are different. Tourism products are totally different. I will give you an example. Some would buy wildlife tourism as products. Some would buy gorilla tracking. Some would buy cultural products. Some would buy maybe nature walks. Some would buy hiking. They are different. And even the experience for the activities are different. And therefore, heterogeneity comes in saying that they are not the same. They are different. That's why destinations might have different tourism products. So that element comes in there. And then we also have an element of immovable. We don't move tourism products. It is rather a tourist or any other person who is interested in them who will come to a destination to come and look at them. Because these are endangered, some of them. For example, you cannot say, I want to do gorilla tracking, but because I have my money, whether you are Bill Gates, that bring a gorilla to me. They can't remove it from its habitat. So it is rather a tourist who comes to where they are. You want to do gorilla tracking, you must move to go to volcanoes, or go to Uganda, or go to DRC. You want to, again, drive to look at the 5 big animals. You're going to come to Akagera or Queen Elizabeth, or Masai Mara, or in Tanzania. You must. We don't move them. One of the reasons why they are not moved, we want to conserve them and protect them for a long period of time and not disturb them in their habitats where they are supposed to be. And we have also another element, variability, which we talked about. There is an element of change. Change comes in. For example, I or Mr. Booker Anderson, we might all go for hiking, variability. But maybe Mr. Booker might enjoy the hiking. We have done the same hiking, the same tour guide, the same mountain. But my taste might come and say, I will never hike again. We might be served the same cup of coffee, same chef, same hotel, but my taste will change. Though we can also rate variability too, an element of seasonality or change coming in, and lastly, which is parity. The concept of parity addresses three things. Tourism products, most of them, they are the same. They are being provided by the same business, and they are fighting for the same customer, who is a tourist. All are national parks. They might all have nature walks. They might all have the big 5 animals. Talk about gorilla tracking in Uganda, Rwanda, and DRC. It is gorilla tracking, that is parity. The product is the same. The business is the same. These are all national parks. And they are all looking for gorilla trackers to go there and get the money. All our hotels, for example, bed and breakfast. So they are all looking for that customer who will come in, sleep in these rooms. So basically, to our target audience, today I had the honor to discuss for you the components of the tourism product, the characteristics of the tourism products, which make the tourism products look different from other products of other industries, and so that we could understand them very well. And therefore, I want to thank you very much, my audience. Keep learning, keep studying. Please subscribe so that we get more motivation to bring more knowledge to you, and different experts will be discussing different topics. I want to thank you. And if you have any question, please go to the comment section. Propose what we can discuss. Ask more. We shall reply. Thank you very much.